All right, so in a recent lesson, I talked about chart patterns. Now, we talked about the characteristics of chart patterns. We practiced looking at some. Another very, very important concept to doing well in day trading, swing trading, position trading, all types of trading is to look for stocks that surprise. And so I want everyone to take out a post-it note or something that they can put on their screen, a small little note. And that is the best opportunities come when the market is surprised by strength, when the crowd all of a sudden flocks to a stock where nobody cared about it before. Now, I talk about this often, and yet when I have people sort of asking about stocks, this is the thing that gets overlooked all of the time. And so I want you to make it your number one priority is to look for stocks that surprise the market with strength. And it doesn't have to be a big gap up, but anytime a stock is quiet and then it comes alive with volume coming into it, with price action to the upside that is abnormal, and preferably without a large gap, although large gaps can still work, but they price in a lot of the potential. But those are those surprise situations that we want. So what I've done is I've got a couple of swing trades from the last couple of days that we talked about. So the first is OCGN. And you can see yesterday, it surprised the market in the morning. See the volume coming in? And up until that point, nothing, dead. Nobody cared. And if we look at the daily, you see, nobody cared. And today it's a huge mover on a percentage basis. But that all started yesterday when the market was surprised. The volume is coming in, price action is moving up, and there's no reason for it. It's the insiders, it's the promoters, it's the people that know the most that are jumping on this first. Okay, another one that's on sort of the swing trade category is Czech, C-H-E-K. Look at sideways, boring, nothing happening. And then 2 days ago, the volume starts coming in, price action starts to move. A little more obvious when we look at the daily. Nobody cares, and it starts to come alive. And again, today that stock is up sharply from, say, 67 to 79. That's a big move. That's the surprise. Breaks from low volatility. So everybody, say it in your sleep. We want breaks from low volatility. We want stocks that surprise the market with strength and with volume. And I would say that at least half of the stocks that I am asked about are missing that component. And so it's really, really important to understand what we mean by that. All right, so let's look at some day trades from today. And what I did is I looked at the top performing day trades of the day, and of like the top 10, I think 7 or 8 of them had the element of surprise. So here's TEL, and let's look at this. Okay, dead, boring. Somebody asked me about it, and I said, yeah, it's surprising. I didn't really like it because it's such a cheap stock with not a lot of volatility, but you had volume coming in and you had surprise. Huge move, up 18 RR. I think Mark asked me about that one. And again, when you look at the 13, there's no life, dead, you have compressing volatility, and then you start to break out of it and volume starts to come in. So there's a crowd assembling. Next one from today is GES, G-E-S. All right, it started the day with strength, good volume. Not a great chart pattern on this one. Because of the chart pattern, I wouldn't have taken it, but I just want to talk about surprise today, and here you have a stock that surprised the market. Look at the 2-minute chart. If we wind it back to how it looked, there's surprise. It's a quiet room, nobody's talking, and then there's somebody yelling, hey, let's have a party here. Okay, let's all go have a party here. And everybody comes, and they have a little party, and it's super fun. Next up, NBR. See this? Nobody cares, boring, surprise. Volume's coming in. Looks a little better on the 13. You have an ascending triangle, which is a pattern of compressing volatility. Again, I don't particularly like the pattern because of the resistance here, but my point today is all about surprise. If you can combine surprise with good chart patterns, you're going to do really well. CODX, does this one have surprise? Yes. Look at this stock, sideways, boring, nothing going on, compressing volatility. The line across the bottoms is converging with the line across the tops, and then you break out of that with volume. Party time. Got one more, and then I'm going to show you some of the losers from today and how they didn't have surprise. VFF, rising bottoms, converging towards a flat top. That's your ascending triangle. And it starts to move out of it. Volume on this one wasn't awesome. Again, chart pattern not awesome, but the element of surprise was there when it started to move. All right, let's look at some of the losers from today. HMY, I think it was the biggest loser from our optimized list. And look at that. Is there surprise? No. It's so far from surprise, it's not even funny. This stock is being bought into an upward trend for over a month. The market was surprised back here on June 29th. All right, this is the insiders, the people that follow the company the closest. People buying up here are retail investors. These are the village idiots. We don't want to buy with the village idiots. Next up, another loser is IMRN. Right, we'll look at the 2-minute here. So is this stock surprising the market with strength? No, it did that yesterday. Yesterday it surprised the market. Today, it's kind of the aftermath. And you probably had some retail village idiots buying it at the open, but it wasn't a new party. People weren't coming in to something that they hadn't been in already. SDGR. Let's take a look at the 13-minute on this. See how it's been going up 1 day, 2 day. We're on the 3rd day of an upward move. We're not breaking from low volatility. We're breaking from volatility this morning. One more, HUYA. These were the biggest losers of the day. All I did was look at the losers on the list, and over again, we see the losers were stocks that didn't surprise the market. This stock has been moving in an upward trend for 1 day, 2 day, 3 day. It's too late. And it was rallying into resistance. Now it ended up that it made a little bit of a move there. And if you're really nimble, you might have made some money on this one, but ultimately it got sucked back down below support because the people that were buying it yesterday and the day before, they're in the money. They're making a profit, so they're more inclined to take their money and run. All right, so that's a little element of surprise. Now I have one other thing to show you in today's lesson, and that is just another example of a bursting bubble. This is OCGN, which was a nice day trade this morning because of the pattern. It really started the surprise process yesterday, but what I want to highlight is the bursting bubble candle. So here's a linear trend, and someone asked, how do you tell if the trend is parabolic or linear? Just draw a line across the bottoms. Draw a line across the bottoms, and when the price runs up and away from that line, like it did here, you've got a parabolic trend. You hit a new high, you close just below the open, so it's not a real strong red candle, but look at the volume. Huge volume, parabolic trend, running away. This is the village idiots chasing the stock. Probably short sellers that got caught, that have to cover their positions at any cost. Those are also some of the people that make that stock go parabolic. But look at how well that did at topping the day, at getting out near the top of the day. All right. Hope that's helpful. Take your questions now, and then we'll do our stats.